You can be working constantly, like genuinely flat out running a six-figure business, showing up consistently, doing all the content, serving the clients, managing the team, and still feel like you're not actually moving forward and still not see the effort to result ratio in your bank account matching. Like the effort is high, but the revenue growth isn't matching it. Now, I see this all of the time with women that I work with. They are established, they are capable, they are already making money in their business, but somehow stuck at that same ceiling month after month, wondering what the hell is going on. So, here is what I have figured out after 18 years of building businesses, running 2 companies, coaching business, a family construction company. The problem usually isn't that you're not working hard enough. The problem is that you don't have the right lens on your business. You are either managing tasks, you're in the tasks, you're ticking boxes, but you're not leading or looking at the right data. And there is a difference, a really big one. Now, today I'm going to screen share and show you a tool that I use every single Monday morning in my business, every single week. I'm going to tell you why it keeps me out of that cycle. And we're going to look at the one question that most business owners never ask themselves that is quietly responsible for killing your revenue. So let's go. So I want to start by reframing what a weekly business review actually is. Most people are going to think of it as, what do I have to do this week? What's on the list? What's behind? Where are the fires to put out? That is not a CEO review. That is reactive management. And if that is how you are starting every single week, then your energy is already in defense mode before you've even made a single strategic decision. Now, to do this, it does not matter how big your business is, how far along into business you are. Get used to tracking this and looking at this from the very beginning. So what I teach my women inside Frequency First Business to do, what we do in my mastermind every Monday, they get a reminder check-in with a link to this document. So this is actually a document not only from my business, but from my high-paying containers. What we do is something very different. The framework that I have built around my reviews, actually, in fact, around my whole business, the whole way I mentor, around absolutely everything, is 3 things: clear, align, and leverage. I call that the energetics of success. Clear is knowing exactly where you are going and whether what you are doing is actually pointed towards where you're going. We do that every 90 days with our vision activation method. That is a much more visionary friendly goal setting process than SMART goals and things that you're probably used to. Align is getting really honest about who you are being, not just what you are doing. So align is aligning your beliefs, your internal world with your external world, your internal capacity. The energy that you bring into your business this week is a part of your strategy. Who you are being in your business this week is a part of your strategy. It is not separate from it. And then leverage is where we use your data, your team. We build your business in a way that actually leverages the align piece. Who you are, how you think, your season of life, your nervous system health. We build your business to that, and we leverage team, we leverage systems so that you are scaling what is actually working, not just running harder. I've got that like hamster wheel kind of image in my head right now and getting absolutely nowhere. So when all 3 of these are present, the week has direction. But when one is missing, you're either going to drift or you're going to grind, and you are going to wonder why the results aren't matching your effort. So let me work through this with you. You don't have to do these in the exact order that I have them on here. These are the things that I am looking at in my business to be clear on where my highest priority focus is that week and where my revenue is sitting. So one of my clients used this tool. She identified over $10,000 in warm leads that were just sitting there. She was so focused on showing up on social media that she had no idea that they were there. And then she sold nearly $4,000 of offers within a week to them. We need to know this information. The first thing I am coming to with this is my actual vision. Yes, that is repetitive. The first thing I do is check in against my 90-day vision. Part of my vision activation method, and by the way, you can actually get access to this as well as the vision activation method and 8 other courses, frameworks, and programs that I have inside of my vault. Check that one out below if you are wanting to rebuild your business in alignment with who you actually are, with your identity and your strategy on the same page. So we start with our 90-day vision refocus, because I have said at the beginning that I have a 90-day focus that is actually, if that stays my core focus, going to take me towards my bigger picture vision. My bigger picture vision for my life, for the experiences that I want to have, for my business. The business for me is a vehicle to get me to that life experience that I want to have. So every single week, I am checking in and reminding myself, what was my 90-day focus? Where am I going? It's clear. Someone said to me the other week on a call, and I actually love this so much. She goes, I just want you to just give me the pathway. I'm ready to run with it. Okay, well, I could do that. I could give you the pathway, but you are unclear whether you want to actually specialize in this or this. Do you want to be known for this versus this? They were very different things. So if I just give you the pathway and you just run, where are you going? We need to know that first. So we come back to that core focus of your quarter. And does what I am about to do this week directly serve that? Or am I getting distracted by things? And believe me, I am the person who will get distracted. You are talking to the queen of distraction. You could probably hear that every time I go off my top points and go talking about something else. Am I getting distracted by things that feel productive? By something I've seen on social media that suddenly has convinced me that this is the better way forward, but they're not actually moving the needle. So this sounds almost embarrassingly simple, but you would not believe how many high-performing women that I work with are doing 50 things and none of them are pointed towards the one focus that they said actually matters for their business. We get busy. We get really good at being busy. Busyness becomes a substitute for direction. The very first thing on my dashboard is, does my week actually connect to my 90-day goal? Yes or no? And if it's a no, what needs to actually shift before I go and decide what I'm going to do this week? Why has this thing suddenly become so important? That one question has saved me so many weeks of motion without momentum. Don't skip the 90-day vision tracking piece. I think this is probably one of the most important bits. That's why I'm really like, don't skip it. You have to do this. Again, you don't have to do it in this order that I've got on here, because after I check my vision, I check myself. And you will actually see that that check-in is down here. It is here. I like to do this one up higher. You can do it after you've looked at your deliverables. It really doesn't matter too much. I like to check myself next. Who am I being this week? Not what am I doing? Who am I being? What decisions have I been avoiding making? What is my one power move that just absolutely knocks everything out of the park this week? If you've got sick kids at home, if you're coming off the back of a big launch, if something is personally pulling at your nervous system, That is all real data. We are not robots. I just recorded a big podcast episode on this. And go and listen to it. We're talking about the grief that comes with identity shifting, but how we actually have to feel the real human emotions. We're not robots. This is going to change what your week looks like, and it should. Because the women that I see burning out in business are the ones who are trying to show up in the same way, regardless of what's happening inside them. They're running their business like the human variable doesn't actually exist. This power moves and CEO energy piece, this is where align in my framework comes in. It's asking you, what energy am I bringing to this week? What does my team need from me? What's the one emotional or energetic thing that I need to address before I start making big decisions? This is where the identity piece comes in. I'll talk more about identity in the next video because it's a whole conversation on its own. Make sure you are subscribed so that you can hear that. But the short version is who you are being while you build your business is not separate from your results. It is the determining factor of your results. So we build it into this weekly review, not as a nice to have, but actually as a core strategic check. So now that I am clear and I am checking where my internal world is at so that I can be the person I need to be to lead my business this week, then we are moving more into the leverage piece. Now, this is your actual strategic execution review. This is where we're going to get into the data. You can see here sections 2, 3, 4, 5. This is all asking you to go and look at what matters the most in your business right now. Revenue tracking, offer performance, conversion rates, lead sources, what content drove real conversations versus just likes. Now, I know some people switch off when I say data. I was the same. I was exactly the same. So let me make this really concrete. Every week, you need to know what is selling and what is not and why. Where are your leads coming from? Where do they drop off in your funnel? What is working in your content? What is getting zero traction? Because most business owners, even experienced ones, don't have a clear view of this. They have this vague sense, but not the actual numbers, which means that when they are planning their week, planning their month, planning their quarter, they're not making informed decisions. They're not leveraging what is actually working. And they're putting their time, energy, effort, and attention into doing, more Instagram reels when their carousels are their best performing. Or they're putting their time, energy, effort, and attention into really pushing this one offer when 80% of their sales is coming from something else. Or they're pushing everybody into an email sequence when email deliverability or open rates are a problem. We need to know what's going on. And you need to be able to see where your warmest leads are. Now, we use a Go High Level platform called Ivory. It gives us a really amazing view of our pipelines and of where people are inside of that. I get notifications if people are checking pages, certain pages and things, so that I know what is working and what is not working. I told you before about my client who found $10,000 worth of leads and then sold 4 within a week. She was just so busy managing her week that she didn't even realize that they were there. She closed nearly half of them, $4,000 within just a couple of days, just by reaching out to them, just by selling, just by making her number 1 step down here with her top 3 focus. Number 1, top aligned action, speak to the people who are ready to buy. She did that. She made an extra $4,000. She wasn't in launch. But looking at this kind of information in your business is what makes the invisible visible. So then at the end of this leverage section, once we've been through all of these, our question number 8 comes back to a very simple question. What are 1 to 3 actions as a CEO that are actually going to move the needle in your business? Not the whole damn to-do list. The needle movers, And I hear some of you, the ones who are addicted to productivity. I can hear you. I can hear you from here going, Jess, 3 things is not enough. What am I doing in my business if I'm only doing 3 things? What are you doing in your business? If you identified 1 to 3 needle movers, what happens if those 3 things actually happen? You can then take this a step further. Because when you are doing your team check-in, you are asking yourself what gets delegated, delayed, or deleted this week. So then when we're looking at what is actually really deeply aligned for you, what is going to move your needle, all you need to focus on is 1 to 3 things. And if those things make you the revenue versus having to do the 500 things that you thought you had to do, wouldn't you take that pathway? The only thing that's made that feel like it's wrong is your beliefs around how hard you have to work to get paid. I'm going to do something here that I wasn't planning on doing. If you would like this exact document, then you need to come over to my Instagram, jessica.reed.co, and say in my DMs, CEO, or say hi. You can say hi, you can be a human, and let me know that you want this CEO dashboard. I'm going to send it to you. That is my gift to you so that you can start really focusing on what really truly matters in your business. I want to give you one more layer here because this is something that I have started doing that has genuinely changed how I start my week. I have automated this data delivery using AI. I use a tool called Manus. I've set it up so that every single Monday morning, this information is actually delivered to me in a report in my Slack channel so that I do not have to spend the time going looking for it. Now, yes, you may love doing that and diving in like that. I love having it just put in front of me because it saves me so much time. I get all the numbers, all the open rates, all the Instagram data, the YouTube data, the podcast, everything. I get it all into my Slack. What's in my inbox, what's on my calendar for the week. It is just all there waiting for me. I don't have to go hunting across multiple platforms before I have even had a chance to caffeinate myself. I also don't need my ops person to be compiling a report. I just log into Slack and everything that I need to know about how to lead my week and to make my informed decisions about what matters in my business is right there. Now, that is a next level layer. I can do a whole separate video on that. Let me know in the comments if that is something that you would like to see. I am not an AI expert, but I would be so happy to share with you how I have set that up. But the whole point is this dashboard, these questions, the energetics of success, the clear, align, leverage. It is designed to be the thing that you actually use, not something you just open up once, feel inspired by, and never look at again. Becomes a part of your operating system. And when you know your numbers and your energy and your direction, every single week, you stop spinning on that hamster wheel. You stop feeling like you're working hard but going absolutely nowhere. Now, if you are watching this and something is resonating, if you recognize yourself in the working hard but not growing pattern, I want to point you somewhere really specific. I have created something called the Empire Edge Diagnostic. It is completely free. Takes about 5 minutes and probably even less. It's not a personality quiz. It's not going to tell you that you are a visionary queen and then hand you an affirmation practice. It analyzes your business across 3 dimensions: your business model, your nervous system response under pressure, and your identity edge, which is the gap between who you are now and who your business actually needs you to become. Because here is the thing that I have found after working with hundreds of women. The revenue ceiling is almost never just a strategy problem. It's the invisible intersection of those 3 things. And most diagnostics only look at one, and that's why you stay stuck. So the link is in the description. It is pinned as the first comment, jessicareed.com/diagnostic. Less than 5 minutes, you will get real answers and you will get a real lever to pull for your next step. Now, if you found this useful, subscribe because I'm putting out this kind of content every single fortnight. Real strategy, real data, and the identity and energetic work that makes it actually stick. I'll see you in the next one.